I know I asked this question last year, which the race played out a little bit differently, but if it comes down to a final restart, do you want to be on the bottom on the offensive apron or on defense, trying to wrap the turn?
I think it would depend on the tire situation. I guess if everyone's even, I don't know. It's kind of tough because this place changes so much. The grip level has changed so much. I feel like it's kind of gone back and forth as far as what lane choice you want as far as restarts. Last year was the top, so right now I'd tell you probably the top. But definitely if we're on new tires, you want to be on the bottom.
This race is a lot different than last year with the start time, with the sunset down the back straightaway, the heat this year being a week earlier. Is there anything that you really concern yourself with the lap though in the car? You're just kind of like, it's Phoenix, I know what to do here. I move on, I figure out when the car feels what it feels.
Yeah, for the most part, it's just kind of understanding what those differences are and what to focus on. Like you mentioned, it's going to be hotter this year, starting more in the daytime, or I guess the sunset, like you mentioned. So, being aware of those things is definitely important, but at the same time, it's like you have new things that come up every week. So it's just as long as you can, hone in on those things and understand how to continue to execute those properly, I think that's the most important part.
Appreciate it.
Well, regardless of what happens this week, and we know Ty Majeski will be out doing some late model racing, I'm curious, do you have any off-season plans you're looking at, either racing or not?
Nothing racing yet. Considered running the Snowball Derby. I had a couple opportunities to do it, but didn't quite work out for me this year. I'd love to race against Ty and those guys at the Derby eventually another year. But nothing racing wise. I'm hoping that NASCAR schedules a test or something in the off season. We got to do Rockingham, I think, in January this year, which was nice to just knock the rust off and prepare for the season. Kind of just get back in the groove of things. So certainly hoping for something like that to kind of get going.
Now, I'm also curious that, a lot of the talk has been about you and your 11 wins, but I feel like you as the driver would give a lot of credit to your team. I'm curious, is there any one member of the team who you feel like maybe hasn't had enough spotlight that they deserve this season?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, it definitely takes a complete roster. We have probably 9 or 10 guys that go to the racetrack with us on a given weekend, including the spotter Hirschman, and I think it just really takes a team. But I think a lot of people definitely lose sight of how important Tony Hirschman is up on the spotter stand. He does such a phenomenal job. I mean, Scott does a great job. I think he gets a lot of the credit, as he should, and Hirschman is definitely a guy up there that's kind of keeping me even keeled and my mental side in check, throughout the race. And also I feel like he's got the best eyes in the spotter stand as far as just finding speed and understanding kind of where to move around and where to find more grip. And he's definitely does a great job.
Now, you've been in this situation several times before. I'm curious, from all of your championship experience, all of that under pressure, what have you learned the most about either just the style of racing or just about yourself as a driver?
I've kind of learned it's just you have to execute. Last year I feel like obviously the 98 was the best truck, but had a restart penalty late, and that just completely unraveled everything. And in 2023 we had kind of all hell break loose a little bit with me and Hocevar. So you just really got to be on top of it and understand what the situation is at all times, and kind of when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive. And it's definitely a tough race, but you just have to execute.